Welcome to the Sunny Days Podcast. I am your host, Sunny Brooks, and I'm so excited to have you. This show was created to inspire women to heal from their past, take control of the present, and manifest their future. Here you will get love, laughter, support, and straight realness. So if you're ready to get rid of your shit and live unapologetically, this is for you. Let's start healing, living, and fucking manifesting. Hey y'all. So today I am coming to you with 5 ways and 5 areas for you to evaluate to live a happy life. So I was listening to a podcast this morning that talked about different ways that you can be happy in different areas in your life that you have to feel fulfilled in order for you to truly be happy. And it started jogging some of my thoughts. My thoughts started to run, and I started to think about different things in different areas that I wanted to share with you and kind of talk about so that you can kind of do some self-reflection, some introspective work, and see where you will rate yourself on these different areas. So I'm going to go over 5 different areas, but for each area I want you to kind of grade yourself, or basically rate yourself from 0 to 5. 0 being that I don't feel this way in my life, I don't feel fulfilled in my life at all. 5 being I feel this, I live this, I breathe this is me, right? And at the end of it, it's kind of, I wanted to talk about this just so that you can be introspective and reflect and assess yourself, but you can start to think about ways that you can improve your life and increase your happiness. So the first area that I want to talk about is health. I believe you have to be healthy in order to truly embrace happiness in your life. When I talk about happiness, I'm not only talking about success. I'm talking about happiness that stands alone without success, right? So you're going to be happy regardless how successful you are. So health is one of those areas that is very important. And I'm not only talking about physical health, I'm talking about mental health, emotional health, all levels of health, right? So with being healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, right? Because spiritual health is a thing. But give me a second. Sorry. But being healthy is important in each area, because think about it. If you are really say if you're normally a small frame woman, right, and then you gain some weight and you're a little thicker, and everybody's saying, hey, you look so good, but you don't feel healthier. Your feet may hurt, you may get tired quicker walking upstairs, different things, right? You may not feel your healthiest self physically. So to the world, you may seem like you have this healthy body, this body that looks good, but you don't feel healthy physically, right? Think about mental health. Are you still being triggered or handling your emotions in a way that is causing you to kind of go down, go back from places that you no longer want to go, right? So if something triggers you, are you releasing those thoughts, releasing those emotions? Are you handling those in an appropriate way that is not affecting your everyday life, right? There's a few things come up when I think about happiness. I think about happiness being something that you are in an entirety and not in just a moment. So being truly happy does not mean that you don't experience life trials and tribulations, right? Being happy doesn't mean that you don't get sad or you don't get mad. That's not what I mean. Happiness is like a feeling regardless of what's going on, or regardless of how you feel in a moment, you're still happy with your life. And I had to say that, of course, under health, but I just wanted to say that. But back to health. So if you mentally, right, if you feel like you are exhausted mentally, if you feel like you're tired or your mind is running a million miles per hour, or you are suffering with anxiety and depression, are you really healthy? You may be in your best physical shape, but are you healthy mentally also? Or say that your mind is great, right? You process well, you deal with your emotions well. Say you're doing well in your mental health, but when it comes to your physical health, you may be lacking, right? You may be feeding your body trash, or you may be not getting physical activity, right? I just read an article yesterday that said for it is best for a human to get 120 minutes, an adult, let me say that, an adult, to get at least 120 minutes of physical activity every week. And those numbers could change depending on which research you read, which doctors you talk to. But that's kind of like, just think about that. Are you getting any physical activity? And I'm not talking about walking from your house to your mailbox. I'm talking about getting your heart rate up, maybe strength building, weight training, things like that. But being physical healthy is not the only healthy that matters. But I do believe that health is extremely important when we look at happiness. I am going to say I truly believe that you cannot truly experience happiness if you're not healthy in all areas. If you're not healthy in your mind, if you're not healthy in your body, if you're not healthy in your spirit, I don't believe happiness can be fully embraced and experienced in your life, right? So think about where you are in your health levels. And I'm not talking about like what the doctor says. I'm talking about how you feel. Do you feel like you're at your healthiest? Do you know that you can do better when it comes to your health? And I'm not saying, hey, you have to eat this certain diet. You have to work out 5 times a day. I'm not saying all of that. I'm just saying, do you feel your healthiest? Do you feel energetic? Do you feel like you have a clear mind? Do you feel like you have a sound heart? Do you feel as if you are happy with who you are, how you look, how you feel, how you think? Are you happy? And is that at its best state? And if it's not, how can you improve? How can you improve your health? Which area of health can you improve and how? So rate yourself in that area. The second area that I think is truly important when it comes to having a happy life is relationships. Relationships, and this is family relationships, romantic relationships, friendships. This is all relationships. If these relationships are not benefiting you and are not serving you and is not making you feel good, and you're not growing with, and you're not loving, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship, right? Because that's important. If these are not relationships that are doing this, is your relationship area in your life, is that really helping you live a happy life? Just because you have been friends with someone for so long does not mean that you continue have to be friends with them. I'm not saying go to cut everybody off in your life. I'm just saying if the relationships are not serving you and serving where you're trying to go and who you're trying to be, it's okay. Let it go. Family relationships, if you know that you have toxic family members and toxic family relationships, just because they're your family don't mean that you have to deal with them, right? You can definitely set boundaries. You need to set boundaries in all relationships. But if your family members are toxic, you can control how much you go around. You can control how much you speak to them. You can control those things. If your romantic relationship is not making you feel alive, making you feel loved, allowing you to be free, allowing you to be you, are you truly happy in your relationship? Relationships, we can't live a life without relationships. People need people. I believe people need people. So whether that's friendships, family ships, partnerships, whatever relationships, even work relationships, right? If you are not truly satisfied in your relationships, it is going to be difficult to live a happy life. Set boundaries in place. Let people go. It's okay. It's okay to have served a certain purpose in someone's life. It's okay if they came in your life for a little while. Just because y'all been friends for 15 years does not mean that y'all still have to be friends. It's okay for what people say, outgrow people, right? But I think I know relationships is definitely one of the driving forces and key factors in our lives that determines our happiness and the level of happiness we experience in our life. The third area is meaningful work. I can't think of the author right now that came up with this framework. It's a book. I can't think of it at this moment. But he mentioned these 5 areas, but he explained it a little different than I am explaining it. But these are areas that I have always embraced in my life and always tried to feel fulfilled in each area so that I can live a happy life. So, meaningful work. Meaningful work. Are you doing a work that sets your soul on fire? That's how I would sum that up, right? Do you feel like the work you're doing is making an impact in this world? I believe that in order to be happy, meaningful work, you have to feel like you are doing some meaningful work. You can be healthy, right? Say you look fine, you feel great, your relationships are bomb, you have amazing friends, an amazing partner or partners, you have amazing family relationships, you're doing amazing, but you are doing a work that you feel is meaningless. You feel like the work is pointless. You feel like the work is just to stay above water, right? Keep your head above water. There's a part of you that is not going to be happy. So doing some sort of meaningful work definitely adds to the happiness levels of your life. It would be ideal and amazing to work the job or work in the career that lights your soul on fire and that you're passionate about. But if you aren't in that area in your life, right? If you're not in that certain phase in your life, maybe think about volunteering somewhere that something you're passionate about. Volunteering places that will set your soul on fire so that there can be some sort of balance until you can get to a place of working every day on something and for something that you're passionate about. That's why I believe part of this entrepreneurial thing is a thing right now, because people are tired of working these meaningless jobs and jobs that don't feed their soul and jobs that don't make an impact on the world. So a lot of people are stepping out of their jobs, stepping out of corporate America, stepping out of their careers to start doing things that lights their soul on fire, start doing things that make them feel important and make them feel worthy in life. And meaningful work does not always have to be something that you do to get paid. It will be amazing, right? But meaningful work is sometimes just bringing meaning to the world, bringing meaning to your life, right? Purpose. I think this falls under that part of purpose, right? Passion. It falls up under those areas when we say, what's my purpose? That's not what I'm passionate about. I think this is what we're talking about. Meaningful work. Doing things that we enjoy. And not only things that we enjoy, but things that are changing the world. And I think we all in some sort of capacity look forward to changing the world, right? Look forward to making an impact. So yeah, are you doing meaningful work? 0 to 5. Are you doing meaningful work? Do you feel like you're doing meaningful work? I know personally this is an area I can improve on. Well, let me not say I can improve on, because the work I do is very meaningful. I feel as if I can improve on. I feel as if I can definitely do more. But I'll save that for another podcast. I won't go too much into that. So we have health, relationships, and meaningful work. The fourth area that I want you to reflect on and see how you feel is financial independence. I'm talking about inner. Financial independence. Financial independence. I do think you can be happy without being filthy rich. I do think you can be happy without having much, right? I have seen it. I have went to Cuba and experienced people living with little to nothing and being happy, or seeming to be happy rather. But I do believe that money, a lot of times, majority of the times, most of the times, if not all of the times, determines a lot of people's happiness. But it is not the all be all, right? Because there are many people that get the financial independence and be filthy rich, but there are other areas of their life that are not fulfilled, so they're not happy, right? So they reach a financial success and they may be doing meaningful work because it's the work they choose to do, right? But their relationships are not fulfilling. Their health levels are not fulfilling, right? And they tend to be happy in that area, but not overall in life and with themselves. So financial independence, I define it and look at it as being able to afford the things you need and want. Because we have not come to this earth to just live based only, purely on necessities. Not only to just afford being able to pay bills. I truly believe that we are here to experience life. And unfortunately, in order to truly experience life in different places and different people, we have to have some sort of financial stability in order to do that. So being able to afford your needs, but also some wants. Being able to not live paycheck to paycheck. Financial independence, not depending on one thing. Because the opposite of financial independence will be financial dependence, meaning you're dependent on something or someone or someplace, right? So if you have a job, you may be financial dependent. You may be financially depending on that job, because if that job was to let you go, are your financial resources cut? Do you not have access to finances because you don't have that job? Then you're financially dependent on that job. Or you may have a spouse or someone, or maybe your mom, your father, somebody that is taking care of all your needs, right? You see this sometimes in the stay-at-home mom situations. Their partner will go out and work and pay all of the bills, and they have all of the control over the money. And I'm not saying if it's right or wrong. That's not what this is for. But they're financially dependent on that person, right? So being financially independent is being able to afford all of the things that you need and want on your own without having to depend on someone. Money does not buy happiness, but it sure makes a lot of things easier. It allows you to not worry about certain things. It allows you to not have to stress about certain things. Especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. Just think about it. If your paycheck may be a little shorter, if it's a little, even if it's the same, you still may have like $2 to your name afterwards. Yes, be grateful for it. However, that is not a place that people want to be. They want to be in control of their finances. And when you're in control of your finances, you feel lighter, you feel happier, and you feel more fulfilled, which then correlates into you being more happier in your everyday life. So financial independence is one of those levels, and one of those areas that I think is extremely important for you to truly feel fulfilled and happy in your life. And then the last area I want to go over is self-actualization. That would be living your potential, right? Being able to truly be tapped in and in tune with yourself and be pleased with yourself, right? Be happy with yourself, because it's one thing to be healthy, right? It's one thing to have fulfilling relationships. It's one thing to do meaningful work, and it's one thing to have money and be financially independent. But it's another thing when you feel like you have all of these other things, yet you still feel like you need more or you want more, or you're not living out your purpose, or you're not truly being who you were called to be, or anything like that, right? So self-actualization, and I also like to think about it also as being self-aware, self-love, self acceptance, right? Because in being aware of yourself, in accepting yourself, in loving yourself, you would feel fulfillment through your talents, through your potentials, through your gifts, because you'll have a drive and you'll be motivated, and you would love yourself so much that you're not settling for anything less than excellence from yourself, if that makes sense. Yeah, I hope I explained that right. But it's self-actualization, but also mainly the self-love part. I think this is important. Yeah, just thinking about it, if you are healthy, these are areas, I can't really think outside of these 5 areas that you would need to seek fulfillment in order for you to be happy. Because I know if you are healthy, mental, physically, emotionally, if you have great, fulfilling, loving relationships, if you are doing a work that is impactful and that's meaningful to you, if you have financial independence, and if you have self-love, self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-actualization, right? If you have these, all 5 of these things in your life, I believe that you can unlock a certain level of happiness that no one or nothing can steal from you. Yeah, and when people say they're unhappy and they're not happy with their lives, 9 times out of 10 is one of these areas. I have not heard anybody complain about not being happy or not being fulfilled in life, and it doesn't fall in one of these areas. Because people are normally, even when we think about it, even when we set goals and set New Year's resolutions and things like that, right? They're they're mostly falling under these things. They're falling under work, falling under relationships, falling under health, finances, self. Um, yeah. So I believe these are the 5 areas that we have to take control of, take charge over, and put some effort into improving so that we can be happy. You can think of probably some people that have some of these, but not all of these. And what happened? We can look at what a lot of people consider successful. They seem to have all of the finances. They seem to be doing meaningful work. They may seem even healthy, but then they may lack the relationships part. They may lack the self part of it. And then those people, you may see them have commit suicide, right? Even though it's deeper, right? Because that may be depression, anxiety, other mental illnesses. And that falls under health. We may see people that have amazing relationships, have an amazing line of work, have an amazing source of income, right? But then their health levels are not that great. They're always in and out of the hospital. And they also may lack some sort of self-love, self-acceptance. And yeah, so we can kind of just play with these 5 areas and think about different people in our lives, or think about it, people in general. I believe these are the 5 areas that we have to focus on. If these are the 5 areas that we need to truly embrace and improve on and accept and work on in order to truly, truly be happy. And none of these are physical things. Yes, financial independence consists of having money, but none of these are physical things. I do not believe that things make us happy. I believe things are substitutes to what we think will make us happy. We buy all of these things and get all of this stuff and have all of these things and stuff and stuff and things and stuff and more things, hoping and wishing that it fulfills some part of us that feels empty, whether it's health, whether it's relationships or meaningful work, right? Whatever. We are hoping and wishing that it fulfills us, and it doesn't. And then we're back in the same cycle of buying more stuff, getting more things, and not realizing that the things and the stuff is not what's going to make us happy. It's us first. It's our lives. It's our relationships. It's our health. It's our work that we do. It's our finances. It's our self. So I want you to kind of just take a second, be introspective, be reflective, and assess yourself in each area from 0 to 5. And if you are anything less, if you're a 2 and under, right, you have lots of work to do in whichever area that is. And you need to get at it today. Don't push it off, right? If you're a 5, amazing, keep it up. If you're a 3 or 4, you can use some improvement. How? So, I just wanted to come to you with these 5 areas that I think and I know that will help you fulfill your life when it comes to happiness. All right, so 4, Sunny Gems. I go over tips, tricks, and tools that will help you increase your life, enhance your life in the areas of spirituality, wellness, or personal development. And today's Sunny Gems is binaural beats. Binaural beats. I want to drop this gem and let you know that binaural beats are life changing. Binaural beats, okay? That's binaural. I think I spelled that word right. It's binaural. Beats. Beats. Binaural beats. And binaural beats are basically sound waves and frequencies that puts your brain in a certain state depending on which binaural beats you work with, right? I know that sounds crazy, but think about like music, and you hear different beats. It's just like that. It doesn't sound like music beats though, but it's just like that. You hear different beats, and those beats trigger different emotions and states of the brain. So they're brain waves, right? And you have delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. And each one helps you with something. I love to use delta waves for sleeping. Let me tell you, delta binaural beat waves will put you in the best sleep you have ever had in your entire life, right? If you want to meditate, theta waves is great for that. Theta waves. Alpha waves is if you need to be focused, right? I love, you know what I actually like using alpha waves for? I like using alpha waves for affirmations because it helps you to think positively while reducing stress. So I like alpha, but beta is what I normally use when I need to focus and if I need to get a whole bunch of work done and I'm like, I need to be zoned in, I use beta waves. I don't really use gamma waves, really. I can't think of whenever I use, I haven't used gamma waves. But delta waves, I use it for sleep, theta for meditation, alpha, if it's kind of like I'll put on alpha waves if I'm just going about my day, if I just need some background noise, that I'll put on alpha. But if I need to highly focus, if I need to study or something, I'll use beta waves. But binaural beats are going to change your life. So I challenge you to incorporate them. Start tonight. Go to sleep with delta waves. You can literally YouTube, type in delta binaural beats for sleep. And it loops. So it'll loop for like 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever. And then wake up in the morning and be like, oh my gosh, y'all tag me on Instagram. Put it on your story, whatever. Be like, look, I slept with them delta waves. And let me tell you, I'm telling you, it'll be the best sleep. If you're having troubles with falling asleep, delta waves. If you need help studying or something, use beta waves. And let me know how y'all like it, because I live by the binaural beats. I love binaural beats. So Make sure y'all let me know what y'all think of these Sunny Gems. Alright, Sunny Reads. Y'all already know I pull a card and I tell you what the cards say. I first pull them, well, I shuffle them, of course, but then I pull a card and then I read from the book just to let the creator of the deck intentions be known, and then I give you any information that is downloaded to me from spirit, from my ancestors, or any other spiritual beings that want to come through. This deck that I'm using today is the butterfly deck. This is my most popular deck when I when I do readings. But no worries, here we go. The card that is pulled is sobriety. That is interesting. Sobriety. Let's see what the book says. Sobriety says, hold on. I thought that was the page. Nope. Give me 1 second. Sobriety. You're becoming more aware and sensitive according to this card. By detoxing and abstaining from chemicals, you're more in touch with your inner guidance and true feelings. Sobriety allows you to focus so that your healing and manifestation work head in the best direction. Let me read that part again. Sobriety allows you to focus so that your healing and manifestation work heads in the best direction. Getting and staying sober usually requires some support, which is normal and nothing to feel ashamed about. There is free 12-step meetings in every city, even online under addiction names such as Alcoholic Anonymous and Narcotic Anonymous. These meetings will set you up with a sponsor, which is a layperson counselor to help you remain sober. Additional meanings: a loved one's addictions or sobriety, codependency issues, detoxing, recovering from a relapse, and helping others gain sobriety. Let me tell you something. I know exactly why this card came up, because it came to me in the middle of this week. It was a thought. But listen, it is time to get clean. And I'm not only talking about drugs and substances. It is time to get clean. It is time to clean your gates, right? It's time to watch what is going into your gates. What I mean by your gates, that's any openings on your body. So your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your sexual organs, that's gates too, right? Let's not forget that. Let's not forget vagina and our anus and things like that, right? So getting clean, being careful what we consume. We consume so much information on an everyday basis that it is ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous how much information we consume on an everyday basis. So we consume so much information that we don't even realize that we are looking for more information and not tapping within. We are always looking for someone else's opinion, someone else's thoughts, what someone else is doing, not realizing that we ourselves are being called to something different. So get clean. I challenge you to go on some sort of cleanse. This cleanse is going to be on all areas. The cards read it. Spirit is saying it and coming through that there needs to be a cleanse, a mental cleanse, an emotional cleanse, a physical cleanse. So go on some sort of cleanse physically. I'm not saying a diet, a cleanse, detox. That can be a parasite cleanse, a liver cleanse, a juice cleanse, a fast, whatever. Cleanse your body. Cleanse your body. Your mind, cleanse your mind. Stop consuming information. Too much information. Let it go. Get off social media. Turn the TV off. Turn the radio off. Listen to the inside. Because at the time that is coming, you're going to need it. So it's best to be proactive than reactive. So get clean physically, mentally, emotionally. Write it out. Let it go. Release it. Get rid of it if it no longer serves you. Sexually, hold off for a moment. Sex is beautiful. Sex is healing. And if you know that you can do that with your partner or partners, then do that. But if not, abstain from it. Don't do it. Cleanse your body. Free yourself from all things, all people for some time, so that you can go within, so that you can elevate to the next level. You want to go to the next level. You want to accomplish the next thing. You want to get the next thing. You can't if you do not sacrifice. Deny the body. Deny all of the addictions that you have to things. Your phone, social media, food, drinks, drugs, people, lust, certain emotions and things that we're addicted to. Get clean from them. Remove them from your being. Remove them from your time. Just remove them for at least 7 days. At least 7 days. That's what I have for you today. And that's Sunny Reads. Y'all don't forget to leave me a review on the podcast. If y'all enjoyed this podcast, if you want more of where this came from, don't forget to leave a review on my podcast on Apple iTunes or wherever you're listening. And also share it with others. Screenshot it, record it, do what you got to do to share it with others. Put it on Instagram. Don't forget to tag me at I am Sunny Brooks. But yeah, and I'll talk to y'all later. And if nobody told y'all today, guess what? I fucking love you. Bye.